Rādhā, Rādhā. Hello, hello. So we are going to do a couple more blog entries today, which is cool. And I'm currently in Santa Barbara in California, meeting some really nice people, traveling around, teaching about Bhakti Yoga. The blog entries are from about a year ago again. And now this is where there was a space for about a week or so. Yeah, since the last blog entry into this one are 2 weeks. And so this is the combination of working on the sailboat with a friend of mine, getting ready to go sailing. And then the second part is we're working on the sailboat again. At one point we had it taken apart, and another point was putting it back together. So I'll have pictures that fit that along with this recording as well. Okay, so here we go. Blog entry 153 from 12/9 of 2024. Over the past year or so, my meditation space has been gradually evolving, shifting in ways I didn't fully understand until today. During my practice, Rādhā and Krishna offered me some insight into what has been happening. I realized that the part of me felt cemented into a wall, rigid, stuck, and unable to move, was tied to my material self, and the part of me grounded in worldly identity and old patterns. So, sort of a good long while ago, I was talking about how I would soul travel to cope. And Rādhā and Krishna was showing me that that's still a high material, energetic level of meditation and connecting in the divine kind of way. And so what they were doing was, as they were slowly squelching that down, they were moving me into more of a divine place in my meditation, into higher vibrations and more of a connection with them. So what that means is, it's like having to learn to walk again, or exercising muscles in a different way that you haven't exercised in a long time. So it's taking a while to grow that part on this journey. So this is them showing me like an even bigger picture of patterns and things like that, and the material ego, as more and more of it was like going away and moving more and more into the divine. Okay. The newer part of me, the part that can move freely within the meditation space, is emerging but not yet fully developed. It feels lighter, more fluid, and closer to the subtle spiritual self that can connect directly with Rādhā and Krishna, in which that's true. So even now, it's interesting. It's like I feel Rādhā and Krishna and everything around me, but then I can also see Rādhā and Krishna and interact with them and talk to them at this simultaneously. So it's really cool how you grow that way. I see this process as a gradual separation from a material self, a kind of spiritual unfolding in the ethers. It is slowly creating the conditions for a deeper, more expansive connection with Rādhā and Krishna, a space where devotion and presence can flow more naturally, unblocked by old habits or attachments. This insight helps me understand that growth isn't always immediate. It is a careful integration of the new, flexible self with the deeper spiritual reality. So what's happening is as I was, at that time, as I was moving closer with Rādhā and Krishna, I didn't really understand how it would go as it integrated more. But as it integrates more, it's like you feel more God around you, like more Rādhā and Krishna around you and everything. But then you also feel more Rādhā and Krishna closer to you. So you feel divinity and everything, but you also feel like, I don't know, God as well. I don't know. It's incredible. The experience is incredible. It's it's amazing how it overlaps and interweaves, and it's all God, it's all Rādhā and Krishna, but yet the person Rādhā, the person Krishna is there as well. It's incredible how it all works simultaneously. It's kind of like a few weeks ago when we were talking about the path of bhakti can be incredibly simple or incredibly difficult simultaneously all the time. It just depends on what helps you grow your love and what helps you remain interested and attracted to your devotion and your path to keep you on course to grow your love and move closer to God, closer to Rādhā and Krishna. Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, so here's the next blog entry. And now on this blog entry, this was, we sailed down a bit, and then my friend had the boat trucked And then they took the boat apart to truck it and then put it back together in a town called Puerto Peñasco, which is at the northern end of the Sea of Cortez. I'll have some pictures too. I'll post them along. A lot of these will be sailing pictures, and a lot of them will be from the first part of the trip down into Mexico. So here we go. Blog entry 154 from 12/13 of 2024. Still in Puerto Peñasco, waiting on boat repairs, but everything is moving along. My meditations have been really different lately, and I find myself in a new place when connecting with the divine. There's more flow, more openness, and a deeper sense of connection. The experience comes as a flow of colors accompanied by a strong, enveloping bliss. So what I was feeling here is feeling more presence of God, more presence of Rādhā and Krishna in everything around me, in the air, in the molecules, in people, in literally everything around me. It's just wild. So that's what was starting to happen there. It's surprising how difficult it can be to adjust to the feeling of bliss. The material body and mind seem to react strongly after any joy or bliss, as if training the senses to expect discomfort or pain to follow. Moving beyond that knee-jerk response is far more challenging than it seems, yet I can feel myself growing closer to Krishna with each step. So the thing that I'm talking about there is we spent so much time in the material world and in material lifetimes that the material mind and the material senses, we're used to when happiness comes that there's going to be an unhappiness and a good and a bad and a mixed in duality, right? So what was happening here was I was having these extreme bliss experiences. So I would have this like feeling in the back of my mind or whatever, just like a general fear and it wasn't even a fear because I couldn't really feel the emotion of fear, but it was just like an old thought pattern. My brain would be like, oh, I recognize this. We're going up, so then we're going to come down. Because like in duality, in the material world, something good comes and then something comes to challenge it, and something good, like a wave, So we're either on the way up or the way down. And my mind would be like, oh yeah, I remember this. But Rādhā and Krishna would block the feeling of fear inside, but the mind would still be able to disrupt the bliss and the connection, because focusing the mind on Rādhā and Krishna, on God, is the greatest challenge of being in the material. So when the material distracts us and distracts our mind away from thinking about God, that's like the core thing it's designed to do. And so the challenge is, a way I like to look at it is, I think of the material as like a classroom, right? So everything in this classroom is to teach us what divine love isn't, right? So everything comes in duality. And so we get like one certain thing, and then it's a mix, and then we see the mix of the one certain thing, and then we see the same thing in a different mix, and then we have the experience again. So it just kind of restates and reiterates the same thing over and over and over, everything that God's love isn't. And so it's really profound and it's really deep. So it's a journey, and there's not really like a set destination per se. And coming out of those mental patterns and coming out of the place where the mind drives everything, it takes time, and you got to be gentle with yourself. And we're going to get distracted, and we're going to come back, and we're going to get distracted, and we're going to come back. But just know that it's a journey. It's worth it. God's love is incredible. Moving as close to Rādhā and Krishna as you can is amazing, and it makes everything better in every way. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Sorry I kind of went so long on this one, but thank you for following along. Have a great rest of your day. All right. Rādhā, 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 Rādhā. Rādhā, 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 Rādhā.